All right. What's up, Reactorites? I'm John.
And I'm Bob.
And we just came out of CinemaCon. This is...
For like the fourth time.
For the fourth time. We're saying this in the other videos, but this is for the Walt Disney presentation, which we saw new footage of Avengers Endgame. You can check out our video on that, our thoughts. And new footage for Lion King, Aladdin.
X-Men.
X-Men. We saw stuff for X-Men Dark Phoenix, but most of the stuff was featured in the WonderCon footage, so we won't talk about that. But yeah, Toy Story. We saw the first 17 minutes
of Toy Story.
Yeah. And actually I want to know about your history on Toy Story. Were you like huge on that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it came out 94, right? Something like that. Maybe 97. And even when I was a kid, all I did was play with my toys. Even as like an adult, my family still thinks that I play with toys. I do see a couple figures from here, so they might not be too wrong. Yeah. But that movie kind of like changed everything for me. I remember thinking how incredible it was. I remember the movie theater I saw it in, at this little tiny movie theater, in where my parents live. Like, I remember everything about that film. So I'm a huge fan. I've seen them all. Was really excited when they said we got to see 17 minutes of this.
Oh yeah. And I'm a huge fan too. I love them all. Like, I love the first one, and then when the second one came out, I was like, how can this get any better? It got better. And for you, it's different.
2 is my least favorite.
Real, right? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I like 2 because it felt sad with the whole Jesse storyline.
Yeah.
And then 3 came out, and I was like, oh my god, the ending where Andy's giving them all away.
When they almost burn alive and die together, I was like, oh my god, that's like the story of family. That's like Fast and the Furious family.
Yeah. So here we're going to talk about what we saw for Toy Story 4. And it starts off with like 9 years ago.
Flashbacks, yeah, when Andy was still a kid.
When Andy was still a kid, and then we finally get to see what happened to Bo Peep.
Yeah.
Because you never really like saw what happened. It was just kind of in passing. Oh, she's gone.
Man, that was so messed up. I was like...
like, how you going to do that?
Spoilers. You guys ready for some spoilers?
Yeah, how you going to do that to Bo Peep?
So basically, it's like Andy's sister decides she doesn't want Bo Peep anymore, some of the toys and a lamp and stuff. And it's raining. It's dark and raining. It's really weird how dark they made this scene. Yeah. And RC, the little race car, I remember from the N64 game, he's like stuck in the gutter during this giant storm, and he's about to get, swallowed into the hole. And so they go on a mission together to open the window and save him, while meanwhile trying to avoid being caught. So they use Slinky. Everyone's kind of the Barrel of Monkeys. Everyone's helping. Bo Peep's hooking and, letting Woody go down to the gutter to help rescue RC. Yeah. And it's like, it's kind of a anxious scene, I guess I would say. It's
a tense scene where you're like, oh, I hope they save the RC car, because a part of me kind of feels like, oh, what if the RC car is gone?
Yeah, like RC doesn't talk, but he makes noises, so he's kind of like the dog of the group, since Slinky can actually talk. Yeah. And so he's always kind of been like that character to them.
The rain scene's pretty cool. Yeah, like, it looked realistic.
The outside house, everything.
Pouring, and then you got the mud, and wow, it just reminds me of that, like, Jurassic Park when it's raining and it's just all gritty.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. And so they get, they rescue RC, as you would expect, because they're not going to kill off one of the toys. So don't call that a spoiler. But
this whole thing's going to be a spoiler.
Yeah, that's true. But then they take Bo Peep and put her in a box with her little sheep that have 3 names. And Woody's like, I didn't know you had names for the sheep. And she's like, you never asked. Like, they're still learning. They're in that good part of the relationship.
You know what's messed up? Like, Andy's sister, the way she says it, like...
Yeah, she doesn't care.
I'm done with him. That's it. It's like, there's no... Like, with Andy, when Andy gave away his toys, he spent time playing and, giving it to the next generation. But with Andy's sister... I'm done.
Yeah, she's like, toss it. It's trash.
Yeah, so poor Bo Peep. And that's why in the trailer, she kind of like is trying to like convince Woody, like, they're going to pass you around anyway. So you might as well go where you're always wanted and never have to worry.
Well, they're in the box and they realize the guy who's taking them forgot something. So he goes back to the door and leaves the box. And Woody goes back down in the rain to go rescue her. And, he's like, get out, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm a toy. This is what happens. We get passed around. There's someone new who's going to love me, kind of thing. But Woody wants her to stay because there's feelings. Yeah. So she tells him to come along. And she tells him, come in the box and we can go together. His hands are in the box. So he's about to pick love. Yeah. But then young Andy runs out with his cowboy hat on and said, where's Woody?
Where's Woody? And you're like, oh no.
Oh, and so they're just like 3-second scene where you watch Woody trying to decide if he's going to pick this selfless love he has for Andy, this unconditional love, or if he's going to pick romantic love for Bo Peep.
Yeah, because he still cares about Bo Peep.
Yes.
And he loves her too, but it's, you're not sure what's going to happen.
Just thinking about it, I'm starting to like tear up because it was so freaking...
And the way it had the shot, the car backs out with the guy that has Bo Peep. So you're not sure if Woody left with her or not.
Yeah.
And then as it drives out of the driveway, you see Woody on the ground.
Yep, and Andy finds him.
And Andy finds him. So you're like, oh, he
picked Andy.
He picked Andy. And it keeps going where they're fast forward into now where he has a new owner.
Emma?
Bonnie. And so new rules and new way of life, and
he's in a new house where he's not the leader anymore.
He's not the leader.
They have a mayor. The
girl,
they have a mayor, little figure. I forget what her name is.
So she's the leader, and then sometimes he would try to like be the leader. He's like, no.
Yeah, she's like, I got this. I've been doing this longer. This is my house. It's pretty. It's pretty cool.
This is my house.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna watch them like have a little bit of friendship, but also her trying to put him in his place, and then he breaks the rules like he's not supposed to.
And then Bonnie, Bonnie has new toys now from Andy. And so she's playing with them, and then she's deciding who to play with. Yeah. So we thought she was going to play with Woody, but she just picked up Woody to take his badge. And places it on Jesse. Yeah. You're like, oh no!
But still picks Buzz and everyone else.
Yeah, she picks Buzz and some of the other toys. And so Woody is by himself in the closet with other has-been toys. And
then they're all old. They all have old people voices.
There's a clock.
They've been thrown away.
Yeah, there's a clock toy too. And
he's like, that's the third time this week. And he's like, oh, I haven't been counting. He's like, well, I have. Like, it's very, it's really funny.
Yeah, the clock just likes to count. So that's his thing.
Yeah.
And then he has like dust on him. What is it?
A dust bunny. And they're like, we should name them in different names. And they come up with, what's the name they picked?
The Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed, yeah.
Because he's a cowboy. It makes sense. And so it's kind of sad. But even with Woody not being played by Bonnie,
he still loves her.
He still cares about her. And it's Bonnie's time to go to orientation for kindergarten. And she's scared. And with Andy, he would accompany Andy and knows like, hey, you got to be with the kid to make sure they're okay.
Yep.
And if not, they're just going to be scared. But with Bonnie, like the mayor is like, no, we're not going to do that. But
Woody breaks the rules, even though the parents say no, she's not allowed to take a toy because she's going to kindergarten. That's the rule. Woody sneaks in though. He jumps in her backpack and he goes with her. Yeah.
And at first I thought like, oh man, is she going to see him or what's his plan?
Yeah.
But pretty much his whole plan is if someone's picking on her or if she's losing objects or playthings,
he's watching out for her. He's a guardian angel is basically what he is to her.
Yeah. And so there was a part where she's at the orientation and she has these equipment to make toys. And this kid just jacks it. But she thought the kid was going to
talk to her, play with
her. But nope, he was a dick. And he just takes the stuff away and he tosses the other stuff in the trash can. And so Woody sees this and he's like, oh no, Bonnie's sad. She's about to cry. So he sneaks around the classroom and tries to grab some of the stuff and brings it to Bonnie's table.
From the trash can.
From the trash can. So, you got some of the supplies, like the fork and the spork and then the bendable metal stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's when Bonnie starts to create a
new toy.
Named
Sporky.
Sporky, yeah. And is it Sporky or Forky?
I thought it was Sporky.
Sporky, but he is a spork. And that's the one where you see in the trailer where I'm not even a toy. And
he comes alive.
Yeah, he comes alive.
Since he's a toy now.
So you see that, like she creates it and then he comes alive. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Like, oh,
it
God.
Could be a horror film. But...
It could be a horror film, yeah. But Woody sees this and sees how important the toy is to Bonnie. So he's like, okay, I'm going to take care of this toy and make sure nothing bad happens to him. And, once they go back home, the toys are worried like, oh, Woody, what are you doing? Why'd you go?
What is that trash? Like
what is that trash?
It's messed up.
They could have taken Woody away. And so they were concerned.
That is a little bit of subtle outsider type. Because Sporky's not a toy to them. So they're not liking him. Except Woody is saying we have to protect Sporky.
Yeah.
Because Sporky's important to Bonnie.
Yeah. And
it's about acceptance.
It's about acceptance. And Woody is all about, love.
What's best for Bonnie.
You got to take care. We got to take care of Bonnie. So a part of me is like, oh, man. something bad's gonna.
And then they show, you know, a little bit more just random scenes from the future where Sporky could actually talk. Because all I could say was like trash for the first couple minutes since he was trash. But it looks, you know, it looks like it's gonna. I mean, I teared up probably 2 or 3 times in that scene
because they show like a montage, which is kind of like another trailer in it itself, and then they had the song where you're feeling all the emotion.
Well, they're playing "You Got a Friend in Me" in the beginning, and that was like, oh my gosh, yeah.
But then from the trailer that you guys probably have seen, you know, there's this whole festival carnival thing, and then Bo Peep's alive, and so now we know why they go, or you know,
road trip.
A road trip.
That's the story.
You got orientation, and then you got the actual kindergarten, so they have time. So they go to the road trip, and then they Woody has his adventure, and he'll probably decide whether he wants to be with Bo Peep and this new life, or go back to Bonnie, and maybe later Bonnie's going to ditch him. And
sorry to disappoint everyone, but Buzz didn't really talk a lot in the first 17 minutes.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a big role in this.
Not at all.
Interesting.
And the director, right? It was the director who came out to talk to us?
Or producer.
He actually said that, you know, when they were talking about Toy Story 3 and 4, how Toy Story 3 was a conclusion, they said that Toy Story 3 is the conclusion of Andy's story.
Yeah, but it's not the conclusion of Woody's story.
Yeah, so Toy Story 4 is very Woody focused. I love Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, they're both great, but this is about Woody. Yeah, this is not about Buzz and Andy anymore. This is about Woody.
So that's very interesting. The montage, the trailer that they've shown, not much is happening. It's just like their adventures, but the music, and then I just got teary-eyed. I'm like, what's happening with me? Because I'm starting to think in my mind, like, Woody has a tough decision ahead of him. I can see it already. Like, do I stick around? It's tough. Like, is he going to have his heart broken again with a new owner?
It's like, do you pick your dog or do you pick a girl that you love? You know, that's kind of what I took from
Oh, yeah. These are tough. It's a tough decision.
Always pick the dog.
Always pick the dog.
But anyway.
So those are our thoughts on the Toy Story footage that we saw. And I can't wait for the movie to come out.
Yeah, neither can I.
So with that said, I'm John.
I'm Bob.
And we'll see you guys next time.